say you're not sure what's causing it. What do you think's causing it?
Oh, I think youth and inexperience have something to do with it. I think when you got 8 positions that were filled by seniors a year ago, and so those are all new starters, and now you got 9 because Tavares Hill is not out there. And so when you have inexperienced guys, they're not all young guys. I mean, obviously we got some juniors in there, but sometimes that inexperience and inability to mentally tough through the adversity, sometimes that shows up.
But it's awfully late in the season for the inexperience, isn't it? I mean, they're essentially into their next year, aren't they?
Well, for those guys that still have 7 starts, if you compare him with Franks, their center that had 40 or whatever it was, 38 or whatever he had coming into the game, there's a huge difference.
And the inexperienced guys seem to play better earlier than this. It's almost as though they're getting, I don't know, maybe less experienced, or something's gone backwards.
Well, I think it's human nature that the fact that right now they've lost the hope of a bowl season. Obviously, the hope of a conference championship left a couple weeks ago. The challenges that are on their plate, in addition to finals and all those other things, that can well up on a guy, and so. I think there were all those things. If you're a guy like Bradwell, you start to press because you're a senior and you realize he's counting down his practices and realizing that his senior year didn't become all that he wanted it to become. So he starts to press and I don't think it's a unique situation to football or sports. I think when the going gets tough, I think the tough try to get going. I think we've got some toughness. I look at Andy Saprinsky. Andy fought really hard, but Andy hadn't gone against a senior like their offensive center, and he found out it was a little bit different. And I think what happens is until you've had, we don't grow as much through our successes as we do through our adversity, and when you've had that experience of being maybe physically overmatched or experience overmatched from an experience standpoint, that sticks with you. Now, it was my hope that what we experienced in Birmingham might have stuck with us. And a week after that, we said, hey, we learned something up there in Birmingham, that whether or not we weren't ready to play, whether we underestimated our opponent, whether or not we weren't as confident in our assignment. And from that standpoint, I didn't think we'd see it again.
Are they making the same mistakes at Troy that they made at Birmingham, or is it a conglomeration of different things that were wrong on different plays?
Well, the tough thing is if you have a good opponent and you have a breakdown, whether it's 2 hats in the wrong place or a missed leverage or attacking the wrong blocker, filling the wrong gap, a good team like Troy is gonna make everyone realize that. And sometimes you can play against a team that maybe isn't quite as good, and maybe those mistakes go unseen. So again, it's if you're in there grading the film, like I say, you can have an 80% grade at a position, and maybe even somewhere around 70% grades across the board. In one game you could have come out with, and because you made some plays on some particular plays where you graded out correctly, maybe it resulted in a success. And in another game, those same grade percentages might look awful.
Are you giving the same grades across? I mean, are the grades similar, or were the grades significantly worse?
Oh, they go up and down, but the most important one is point of attack. When it's your turn to make a play and the play comes to your responsibility, that's in a sense the grade that matters.
Is there a reason to believe they're learning from their mistakes?
I would think so, yeah.